Alright, so we're back for another top 5 video, and this week our top 5 topic is top 5 unique cars. Now I guess, Walter, this could kind of be interpreted a couple different ways. I think the way I interpreted it was if you were going to a car meet or some kind of car event where there are a lot of special cars were already there, what car would draw the most heads and draw the most attention? But I'm wondering if that was your interpretation.
Myles, you should have defined it a little bit more than that. Because what I interpreted as top 5 unique cars, anything goes, and I tried to find 5 unique cars that wouldn't cost necessarily a lot of money to.
Okay, alright, interesting perspective. So I think we kind of approach this from different sides, but that's good because it's good to kind of get the ideas flowing. So why don't you kick us off?
Alright. So, as I mentioned, I tried to come up with some cars that would not cost a lot, and they might even be considered common cars. In fact, they are common cars, but some of them have, custom paint jobs and things like that. So,
okay.
I tried to find some cars that were really, really unique. In fact, there's probably only one in the world.
Okay.
Right?
I'm worried.
So, I think this first car, you would notice if you have a gift of vision.
Well, that certainly is a unique car, Walter. I can't fault you for your definition. What the hell is that on the car?
I am not sure. It must be some sort of plastic or something. This was actually at the Barrett-Jackson auction, and I can't imagine actually anybody buying this car. But yes, I think it actually sold, and I think the best way to describe it is like maybe the bottom of the ocean floor.
Yeah, it looks like maybe it's been sitting down at the ocean for 10 years or something like that. Any idea what the actual car is underneath there?
I don't know. I couldn't determine what kind of car it was. Yeah. So definitely unique. I don't think you'll ever see another one like this.
Okay, so my first car here is a pretty iconic car. If you grew up watching movies in the 1980s, you know this car very well. So my first choice is the 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California short wheelbase. Car made famous in the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And this is an iconic car. Only 55 of these are actually ever made. And the 250 line of cars by Ferrari, they made them from 1953 to 1964, and it came in a lot of different body styles. And they did actually do a long wheelbase California earlier back in 1957 that was designed primarily for the US market. But the short wheelbase version is really the one that everyone knows and loves. One of these cars last year sold at auction, forget this, $17.6 million,
wow.
Which is just an insane amount of money. But they are, I think, stunningly beautiful and a really wonderful car.
So I came across this custom paint job, and I thought, wow, this really would attract eyeballs like nails to a magnet. This car is what they say in the hood is, and I don't even have to say it because it's written on the side of the car.
I don't even, so it's
Look, how about those graphics?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying, what is it? Is it bread? I can't even tell.
No, it's not bread. What do you think?
Is it?
It's written on the car, what it is.
Oh, okay.
It's excrement.
Excrement, great. Well, I guess if a bird poops on the car, you don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah. But how about unique, huh?
Yeah, you're right, Walter. I think you're killing it on this one. That definitely is a unique car.
I don't think you'll see another one like it.
No, probably a good thing, but...
I think the graphics really set off this car. And also, if your wife or girlfriend ever cheats on you, don't get even. Get this custom paint job on her car.
I agree, absolutely. That is the ultimate revenge. Alright, so my next car... very different to my first one. It's not a glamorous car, it's not a high-performance car, it's not even a famous car, but it is a unique one for a couple of reasons that I think matter. One of those is that it doesn't officially exist. So my next car choice is the 2012 Saab 9.5 Sport Combi. And you might be saying, what the hell, it's a Saab, it's a station wagon, this is not a particularly unique car. Well, it actually is kind of a unique car. This is a station wagon based on Saab's very popular 9.5 sedan that they built for a number of years, and only 27 of these were made, and they were all pre-production cars. And the reason that it was never went into production was, unfortunately, Saab went out of business in 2012, right before they could start production on this car. So as a result of that, this is not the most interesting or exciting car, but I am a fan of Saab. I had a Saab before. I love the quirkiness of their design. I love the inspiration they get from aeroplanes. They also built fighter jets as well. And I think that they're just a really interesting, unique car, and it's a real shame they went out of business.
So this is the only vehicle that I've chosen that would require some money to buy it. The reason is because it's the only car with a very, very special feature. Think luxury and convenience rolled up into one.
Okay.
Say your chauffeur is driving you and you realize you need to use the toilet. What do? You would have to ask the chauffeur to pull over to a gas station.
Right, and then get out and go use the restroom.
Yeah, use a filthy restroom.
Right.
Well, who wants to do that? This is the 1954 Rolls-Royce Vinal toilet car. You can close the window separating you from the driver to mask any annoying smells or noises. And Myles, it empties directly out onto the street, no water needed.
So just the poor people, that you're driving through a neighborhood, the poor people can just deal with it.
Yeah, and you could say, you could just warn them, don't slip on my poop.
Right. Is this, was this a car that was actually in production? I mean, how many of these were made?
It was one of one.
All right, so Walter, if I said to you, what is the most practical Ferrari out there, what would you say?
The most practical Ferrari, I would say that would be a Ford.
Well, you're wrong. If you said the FF, you'd also be wrong. The most practical Ferrari is the 456 Venice GT. You may never have heard of this car. There's only 7 of them in existence, and this is a fully fledged Ferrari station wagon. This car was based off of the 456 coupe from the 90s, and it was custom built for the Sultan of Brunei. He ordered 7 of them, but he actually only ever built 6, so one of them ended up getting sold to a regular person. And this car was built by Pininfarina. It features the same V12 engine as the 456. It features the same underpinnings, but just has a station wagon body built on it. And they were rumored to have cost $1.5 million each.
Wow.
Guess it's good to be the Sultan of Brunei. And this is definitely not one of the better looking Ferraris ever, but I think it's certainly one of the most unique and probably one of the more practical as well.
So Myles, here's another custom paint job car. Again, a very common car, but very, very custom, unique paint job, and I think you're really going to enjoy this.
I'm worried.
It also it has a little message on the back and provides information and a friendly warning.
What do you mean warning?
Well, warning you to stay away,
okay.
Far, far away.
Well, I think it's very direct. It's a little bit of a weird juxtaposition, the aggressive message with the very adorable and cuddly image.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I think it's kind of like, hey, like almost like a rattlesnake, hey, warning you to stay away, but in a very friendly way.
In a nice way. Don't make me cut you, but here's a nice picture of
Don't make me cut you. Yes.
Yeah. My next car is the 1936 Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, and this is, I think, one of the most special and unique cars, period. Certainly one of the most special and unique Bugattis, and Bugattis are already by definition pretty special and unique. Only 4 of these were ever built during 1936 and 1937, and only 3 of them have known to survive. It is, like I said, one of Bugatti's most iconic cars. It was based on a 1935 concept car called the Aerolith, and the body panels of that car were made from a magnesium alloy, which meant that they had to rivet them externally, which gave the car a signature seam on the outside. And when they made this into a production car, they replaced that alloy with aluminum, but they kept the seam for styling purposes, and it became one of the most recognizable parts of the car. It was originally owned by the 3rd Baron Rothschild, and it's now owned by Peter Mullen, who owns the Mullen Museum in Southern California, which we've been to. In fact, we saw this car a couple of years ago, and it was pretty beautiful, right?
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful car. It's currently on display at the Peterson Automotive Museum in LA, so if you're in the area and you get the chance to go see it, I highly recommend it. It's a very, very unique car, and totally beautiful. The pictures really don't do it justice. But for these reasons, I think this is a really unique car, and just a beautiful one as well.
Well, I couldn't agree more, Myles. It is a gorgeous car. So my last vehicle is a hybrid. I really wanted to go with, a hybrid. There's a lot of hybrids that are built today. This one was designed some time ago. I'm not sure about how long ago it was. But think of an SUV that drives like a car. and it also has a multi-tone elaborate paint job. It has older and newer design influences, newer as in the 90s. What do you think of this, Myles?
Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, Walter. I think something's wrong with your laptop, because it looks like a couple of images have got combined here accidentally.
No, that's actually one vehicle. I mean, think hybrid, Myles. You know, so you have the truck cabin, you know, kind of married to a Pontiac Grand Am, I think it is.
Yeah, that looks like it. It doesn't actually look straight. It looks like it kind of bows right in the middle, which, I mean, obviously with this fine craftsmanship, it must just be an optical illusion, because I can't believe that there's any technical fault with the car.
Yeah, I think you're right, you know, and maybe that's what they wanted to do with the car, is they wanted it to bow. I don't know.
Alright, so my last car here is another Bugatti, Walter. I'm afraid, I'm a big Bugatti fan. So this is a 2013 Bugatti Veyron Jean Bugatti edition. This was one of the last Bugatti Veyrons they made before they replaced it with the Chiron, and as I mentioned, it's a special edition. Only 3 of these were ever made. They cost $3 million each.
Wow.
Crazy. But it shares something in common with the last car I had, which was the 5.7 SC Atlantic. This is a Veyron. It's a tribute to Jean Bugatti, who is the eldest son of the company founder Ettore Bugatti. And as I mentioned earlier, Jean designed the Type 57 SC Atlantic. But more specifically, the Jean Bugatti edition Veyron is actually a homage to his particular 57 SC, the Le Vautour Noir, the black car. This particular model is finished entirely in black carbon fiber. The grille surround and the EB badges are made of platinum, which is the first for Bugatti.
Wow.
Following the inspiration of his personal 57 SC, this Veyron has a two-tone brown and beige cabin, and stitched into the leather of the door panels is a silhouette of a Type 57 SC. Walter, look at this. I mean, I think that's really, really cool. I mean, that's a really nice homage to the original car.
Yeah, that is really stunning and I think really gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just one of a kind.
Okay, so that takes care of this segment regarding top 5 unique cars. And if you are interested in providing ideas to us, for us to cover some top 5 ideas, please submit them to us. And keep watching our videos.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks, Walter.
Take care.
See you next time.